Welcome back, ODHtv. We have BMF Season 3, Episode 4, Return of the Prodigal Son. Episode starts out with Loco and Meech smoking in a room, and Loco's man is trying to hire Cena's pilot. Cena was Loco's old boss, but he was arrested. But by the way the pilot was talking, they thought he might be a Fed, so Meech takes the phone and asks the pilot if he wants his money up front or later. The pilot says later is okay, and he explains to Loco that if he was a Fed, he would have wanted the money up front, so they're free and clear. Also, if you like these videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel, and also because it's free. And if it's free, it's for me. Also, stick around to the end. You might see something you like. Let's get back to it. And back at Meech's spot, he runs into Angel packing to leave. He asks her where she's going, and she's like, I don't want to be in the way. He tells her, I told you could stay as long as you want. Don't worry about a thing. You're going to make money and keep all your money. You don't have to give it to anybody anymore. He then tells her he has to go to Detroit for a few days, and Angel shows her appreciation. Back at the restaurant, Terry is eating with LaWanda and explaining to her that the ACS problem is going to go away. Just then, Hoop notices Meech coming into the restaurant. The whole crew is happy to see him, but he needs to speak with Terry. And he tells him that the shipment is coming in tomorrow, but he has to be the driver to pick it up because Loco doesn't trust Terry. Detective Brian, who's still on suspension, goes to see his old partner / lover, remember he was hitting that last season, to go see if she's okay after she got shot.
Just wanted to see for myself if you were okay.
But Detective Jen is not trying to hear that.
Fuck you, Brian.
And she tells Brian when she finds out whatever he's mixed up in, she's going to put a report on the captain's desk. He reminds her that she helped him get those 2 bricks out of evidence and replace it with fake drugs. But she finally reveals what she did with the drugs that she stole from Saint's apartment when he was killed. She took those 2 real bricks and replaced the fake bricks with real ones. There are no innocent parties in this show. But as Bryant blows out her incense, he reminds her that everything he does for his family. Kind of like a veiled threat, you ask me. And then we venture into the unbelievable again. We're at an underground gambling spot, and we find out that Markeisha has pull and influence with a judge. And she tells the gambling judge that Terry has a problem with CPS and hopes that he can make it go away. Terry walks over and bribes the man right there, and then more silliness occurs. Yo, look at those glasses for real. So while they show us Markeisha's side profile, Henrietta tells the judge that Terry's not the type of person he should be in bed with. Judge is like, this is too much for me, I'm out. Henrietta lets Terry know that she knows that he messed with her shipment. Then she starts flirting with Markeisha and she says, holla if you're trying to get that back cracked like a glow stick. But I can't lie, that actually made me laugh. Back at the Flannery house, Charles is trying to get his sexy on to entice his wife. It worked, but he still ain't getting none. Henrietta lets Bryant know that Meech is back in town, to which Bryant replies, this is the best time to strike, I'll do surveillance. Henrietta also lets him know this thing better go smooth because she don't want to have to pull his kid's protection from juvie. Detective Amberson in that bad wig is telling Detective Jen that Sterling's boy Cuts that they locked up lawyered up and won't talk. But they did find an ID on that burnt up ambulances, so they're going to go knock on some doors. Meech meets up with the pilot and the shipment at the airport and finds out that instead of 250 bricks, Loco sent 2,500 bricks.
2,500?
The pilot says he's leaving in 24 hours, so Meech has to call everybody to try to sell 2,500 bricks in 24 hours. He calls Terry to let him know he's got to round up everybody to get all this done. Terry gives pushback, but eventually agrees. Meech walks out of the hangar and pays a guy to use his van for the day. But unbeknownst to him, Brian is watching. Meanwhile, back at the Flannery house, Nicole has boys over and her mother comes in and kicks everybody out. At the same time, Meech is loading 2,500 bricks into that van with no help from the pilot. Terry meets the ACS worker at the restaurant. Who cares? Meech has 2,500 bricks and the pilot he's driving back to his hotel in that white van. But the pilot says he has to go to the bathroom. Meech parks and 2 sheriffs pull up eyeballing him crazy. As the cops walk inside the diner still eyeballing Meech, Detective Bryant pulls up. He gets on the phone with the pilot that's still inside the diner and has a plan, tells him to go talk to the police. The pilot walks up and feeds the police a story. Pilot comes out, gets in the van. I didn't realize Meech didn't know his name until he called him Pilot.
God damn, Pilot, it took you long enough.
But he tells him, don't worry, watch what's gonna happen. The police pull him out of the car, find his gun and arrest him. Charles is doing repairs on the house, still trying to get his wife back. And when she comes downstairs, he also confronts her about Dr. Maurice. Lucille denies anything going on. Next scene. Henrietta meets up with her crackhead cousin again, and he tells her that they can't reach Brian. Henrietta's upset. She's like, he's just a cop, just like my father. I guess everybody hates their father in all these series. But I think she's gonna pull the protection from Brian's son in a juvenile detention center. Meech arrives at the spot where Terry and the rest of the crew are so they can prepare to start moving all this weight. Detective Jen and Amberson run up on the guy that owns the ambulance from Henrietta's shipment. He runs and they arrest him. Now we head back to the ridiculous where Markeisha is now blackmailing his judge. She calls herself a businesswoman and an image maker, and that's just one of the many hats that she wears. I guess they're setting her up to have even more skills. Where's this coming from? I don't buy it. But anyway, she slides him an envelope, apparently with proof of payments he got from drug dealers. So corny. Open your eyes when you're speaking. With little time left, Meech and Terry are able to sell all the bricks, count all the money, and send it off with the pilot back to Loco. Terry says he's gonna go have dinner with Markeisha, but Meech lets him know that their sister Nicole made dinner for the whole family. He also asks Terry to come down to Atlanta with him. Terry goes to see Markeisha to let her know that they're not gonna have dinner tonight. She lets him know that the ACS problem's gonna go away, and then she does what she's good for on all these shows. Then we have this dinner scene where Nicole made dinner pretty much to confront the whole family. I think they were trying to make a dramatic scene like they did with Power Book 2 Ghost when Diana went off on everybody, but this one I don't think went over as well. Kind of corny, but it is what it is. Anyway, Lucille goes to see Maurice again for another office date. I guess he lived there. She gets all in his mouth and then she runs out. Meech and Terry's boy, Rolly, comes over and lets them know now that he has a kid, he kind of wants to stop selling drugs. Meech and Terry are like, nah, you good.
Anyway.
Right after that, Meech gets a call from Stax in Atlanta. He's asking to get back down with Meech. As soon as you saw his face, you knew it was a setup. Meech says he can get back down, but he's only doing it for Ty Washington.
Nice, nice.
It was super predictable though, because you knew when this camera panned over, you're gonna see Glock sitting right next to him. But Glock, who has no respect for Stax, but he makes a plan with him and says, you help me get Meech and I'll help you get Remy. In other words, Stax days are numbered. That's pretty much how the episode ended. We know Terry's going down to Atlanta for the next episode.
Player, I mean, games that you playing, I seen. The chance that I'm taking, I mean, these things that I'm saying, I'm sorry.